guys, welcome back. It's your boy Serrano right here. I'm gonna talk about the LG Stylo 3 Plus. Let's go over the settings, and when I go down to the bottom of the screen, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna click about phone and basically just take a look at the software. As you can see, it is running on Nougat 7.0. It does have MP450 10D, and actually I did receive two updates since I've gotten this phone. I've had it for a month. It had the 10B and then the C, and now it's currently running on the D, which is actually the most current software. And there is actually an update that is pending right here, so that will turn into the E. Also, you do get the Q Slide apps right here on the bottom of the screen, so that's a really cool feature. One of the things that I actually did notice is that when you press that button for the Q Slide apps on the 3 Plus, it's actually missing the calculator option here on the 2 Plus had it, but the 3 Plus actually doesn't have the calculator, so I actually did update the calculator right here, and it still wouldn't add it to the Q Slide. So that's actually a feature that they did remove from the 3 Plus on the Q Slide apps. But you do get this pen feature here. When you pull it out, you do get these options right here, which is all your notes pretty much in your Q Slide option. You do get the Pop Memo Capture Plus, GIF Capture, Pop Lens, and Quick Memo. Go over to the settings one more time and find the pen feature, because when you click the pen feature, it's going to actually let you reassign all those different apps to your personal preference. And as you can see, I did drag away that Q Slide option here. If you want to actually sort them, you can with this button here. But basically, to get the quick pop, you just go ahead and back into your notification screen, and you will actually reactivate the feature. So with quick pop, it's pretty simple. You can make a quick note at any time. It pops out in that little square function, so you still have room to actually view things on your screen. You do get the Capture Plus option, which does actually take a screenshot and let you take notes on the screen with any thing you want to use. It could be the keyboard, or it could be the basically just the pen feature. Go ahead and press that back button to get out of it, or save to your gallery or quick memo. You also do have GIF capture, which basically lets you capture videos, and it's pretty interesting. You can actually use it for social media. It's resizable here on the different parts of it where it's actually outlined. And what you do is basically find a video on social media, actually press that GIF capture feature. Then we could actually head over to the gallery, and I could show you that it was actually successfully able to capture some GIFs right here that I actually did make off of from videos that I did see online. So one of the things you're gonna actually have the ability to do is make your own GIF feature. You're basically your GIF videos right there. So you do get the pop lens. Let's just go ahead and turn that on. And it actually is like a magnifying glass that you can use when you're actually browsing any media on your phone, especially text and pictures. So you could actually zoom in on those to your personal preference at any moment in time, to your personal liking. Go ahead to the last option, which is basically quick memo. You can actually sketch in here. It does give you some different marker tools to use in different colors, as well as transparency and size. So that's actually customizable. You could also use text. They have give you an eraser tool and a lasso tool, and basically options to choose the paper and basically change the categories. So you do get those options here with the quick memo. There's also additional ways you can use the pen. I'll get into that later into more detail, but that's how you would actually take advantage of the quick memo feature. They also did include basically this button where you go to the settings. One more time, we're going to go over to display. When we click display, we're going to look for mini view. Go ahead and turn that on. And basically, when you swipe across the screen with your left, from the left side or the right side, you can actually customize the screen to your liking with these options here. So for one-handed operation, that's actually pretty useful. Also, if you're using Gboard, you can use the tool which actually lets you customize. So I don't see why you would need both unless you're typing for that. But it also does give you this cool option for when you actually are in the recent apps folder. All you have to do is hold one of your basically apps here and drag it all the way to the top so you see that transparent color. When it actually does go away, you can drop it and then actually use and access your multi-dual window function. Also, another way to access that function is just to open up a second app, um, basically drag down, and then basically hold that window. You can actually re-enter the app in that way just by holding that button, and it is actually customizable. So you can actually use it in this view as well, and you can get a lot of multitasking done during the day or at work, depending on where you are. Now the cameras in this phone are actually pretty good. Compared to the 3 Plus to the 2 Plus, you can see that the colors are a little bit brighter and actually more realistic when looking at the photo. Um, as you can see, the 2 Plus is actually on the right and the 3 Plus is on the left. So this is both phones actually, you know, zooming in on the object right here. The 3 Plus definitely looks better there on the left. This does have steady recording, and it does actually have a lot of features that the 2 Plus does include, but it doesn't have the steady recording, which is actually the biggest difference here. You can also see it does have the same settings modes. When you click all the way at the top, you do see some similar features, but you don't get this whole option right here to actually drag down and customize the features. Only on the 3 Plus is that available. With the 2 Plus, you only get these options here. So keep that in mind, that you have a better camera with basically the features here that are added with the steady recording. Now you can see this was shot on my LG Stylo 3, and the detail on here is quite impressive, just to say the least. You could zoom in and get to all the flaws of the photo up close, and you could actually see every single detail. Now the rear camera did take some really nice shots in detail on that rear facing camera. As you can see, I'm getting all the way up close inside of here and just zooming in at the fullest part of the screen, and I'm getting a lot of detail here. Basically, I could zoom all the way in on the photo, and it doesn't really lose quality until it gets to that last part. But you see here, that's the original photo, and I'm just zooming all the way in, and basically the quality on here is really good, just to say the least. Now on that top notification bar, you do get the accordion-like feature with the 7.0. It does include Capture Plus, which gives you a screenshot, Wi-Fi, Vibrate, which actually gives you sound, silence, or mute. Then you do get Bluetooth, rotation, sync, NFC, flashlight, airplane mode, data, battery saver, color inversion, and location, as well as comfort view, do not disturb, data saver, add guard, floating apps, and nearby. Click edit, and you can drag additional options if you do have them down here. Um, so click that check mark. Before you click that check mark, make sure you go into the same basically window and click edit, and then go here to volume notification panel, because I actually did have that off, as you can see here. So when I click that check button, I actually didn't have the volume, but when you go back and you click edit from here and you do check that button and click the check mark, you do have the volume control. So that's actually really cool as well. So I also did want to show you that the phone will give you 1080p 60 frames per second along with 720p 60 frames per second. So as you can see, that the video is quite clear, just to say the least. I'm running on that 1080 60 frames per second. So we could actually be happy about that part, because we can actually enjoy the movies at the highest quality, to enjoy the phone a little bit better when it comes to checking out movies and everything like that. What you're also gonna notice is that the sound quality is really good at coming out of here and very loud. So you got the speakers on the back, which isn't actually the best location, but you're not actually getting bad quality sound out of here. It's actually pretty good sound out of there, and I'm not mad at all when it comes to the volume. As far as how loud the volume gets, it's actually pretty loud right here, just 3/4 of the way through. When you add that additional volume, it's actually perfect for sound. Also, when you take your phone off the charger and you just double tap, you can actually see that it does have that live weather now. So basically, to activate that, you basically want to go to your settings option and basically double tap to lock, and you can see that it actually does have that option there. Basically, all you have to do is go to your lock screen options, and you do see right here that it does have weather animation. So that's actually the feature we were looking at right here. So also do keep in mind that when you press smart lock, it actually does take you to an option here which does give you trusted face, which actually is um, basically the face unlock feature. So basically you can actually set that up simply by pressing setup. It's going to basically tell you to hold your phone at eye level, allow the settings right here, basically put the phone to your face, and actually wait till that blue line does go across the screen. When you see it finish, you see here that it says that your face has been added, and then just click done. So it's actually pretty cool with the facial recognition. So one of the best features with this phone, if you can see here, it does say, let me just make that zoom in, that it does have the fast charging feature. Let me make that zoom in a little bit there, so you can actually read that it does have that fast charging on the phone, which is actually really fast and actually gets the battery like really far up in almost half the time of the 2 Plus. So that's actually double the speed from the 2 Plus to the 3 Plus when actually charging the phone. It's actually really fast, and the battery does last a little bit longer. Also, I did want to tell you guys that the gameplay on here, if you're like somebody who likes basically playing games on your phone, all I can say is that it does handle the games pretty well. You're not going to really have any basically doubts that the phone can keep up when it comes to gaming. As you can see here, this is a higher graphics game, but it's actually keeping up quite nice on the LG Stylo 3 Plus, just to say the least. So like I said, it didn't matter what game I was throwing at it. The basically LG Stylo 3 held basically its ground when it came to like keeping up with any game that I actually threw um, in the direction of the 3 Plus. So basically was able to handle um, all these games that I was actually playing with like no lag and basically really good responsiveness on the controls and everything like that. So there wasn't any complaints when it came to the gameplay. And you do get really good gameplay on here, just to say the least. So I was quite impressed with this device, basically when it came down to overall gameplay and quality. Yeah, so like I said, this phone does handle the gameplay really well. It does have that Snapdragon 435 Adreno 505 1.4 gigahertz octa-core. Tap long hold the screen. You do get options here to actually add apps on the screen. You could also add widgets on the screen and change wallpapers on the screen. Basically gives you these options here, and then you could actually look here at your panels and your different pages right there. In the display option, it does give you this reader view, which actually changes the, basically the color of the screen to your personal preference. So if you're like reading or something like that, it actually makes it a less intense lens there being captured. You can change the font type, size, and basically the boldness of the text. So you can make that bold if you wanted to. Um, then you can actually go back into display and see that it does give you this option for how many seconds you want the screen to be timed out in. You get home touch buttons. Actually, you can change the combination here and just click and drag anything on the screen to your liking. You could actually change that to black or white depending on your personal preference. So there's actually a lot of features inside the display mode. Also, there's home screen where you can get the ability to use an app drawer right here, single touch, and then basically home screen actually allows you to change, like the swipe function there, so you can actually change how you want it to look. Also make it loop as well. So there's a lot of features in there with the quick memo. Also, basically the screen is an improvement. You can see the difference on the 1080 compared to the 720 of last year. There is a double the storage, which is, very impressive. Also the gyroscope, and they have the NFC feature in there. Basically giving you the mini view and all those different options just to customize the phone as well. Q slide apps on here, with the exception of that calculator actually not being there anymore. You can't go wrong for the price that you're actually paying with the screen, the body, the performance, the build. Like I said, the fingerprint scanners on here. It does have a nice premium build right here. The phone is very lightweight, so one of the things I noticed is I don't really use a case for this phone because it's so small and thin. It just feels really good in the hand. Actually, if you feel like you are gonna drop your phone, definitely put a case on there. But as for me, it's just I prefer how light it is. Like it is. It also does have the headphone jack at the bottom, which is actually better than the top, because that cord won't get in the way when it's out of your pocket. You could just grab it from the bottom and you're just like ready to go. Does have noise cancellation mic on the bottom and another one on the top, two microphones. And so this phone is very nice, just to say the least. I think it's definitely worth it if you're looking to get a phone basically in the budget realm and you don't want to pay more than $200. This is your go-to guy right here, and you're not going to be disappointed in any way possible with the updates that you're getting on here. So definitely stay tuned for more videos just like this. I probably missed out a lot in this video, so I definitely will cover some more in the next video, but thank you for watching. It's your boy Serrano, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But in the meantime, have a great morning, afternoon, depending on where you are, evening, and good night, and especially have a happy new year. Peace.